Hey, what is going on, everyone? In this video, we're going to be doing the solo Duality dungeon. I'm using the point contact cannon brace, the Titan exotic arms that everyone thinks are garbage, and they are pretty bad. They could really use a rework, but there's some cool things about them that I'll tell you all about in here. But anyways, I'm skipping all the traversal parts. We're just going to see the meat and potatoes of the dungeon here. And so for Garin, I'm using Lament, and I'm using an arc glaive here. That's so I can amplify it, so I can really sprint to these bells here and get out of the Nightmare Realm as soon as possible. But let me talk about the point contact cannon brace. So its exotic perk is that when you kill enemies with your Thunderclap melee, you get a little bit of your energy back, but then also you deal lightning strike damage to enemies around you. Now the lightning strikes are really bad, but they do actually go up in damage the longer you hold down the melee button. And if you have knockout and procced on your character, you can actually do a standard melee and it will still have the lightning strikes hit. You don't need to always hit him with Thunderclap. Now, the reason I'm using this exotic, number one, I like using underused exotics. It's just fun, something different than Heart of Inmost Light with Storm Grenade Spam. But number two, there are a lot of adds in this dungeon, and those lightning strikes can actually stagger them. So even without a charged melee, a quick punch can stagger the adds around me, and that can make them finisher level, or it can be a follow-up 1-2 punch to get my health back or something like that. So I just figured I'd use the exotic for that. So for the first part, I'm going through kind of the routine, just in case you've never seen the dungeon before. This is the mechanic. You're going to go into the Nightmare Realm. You're going to grab 2 essences and put them in, or I guess 1 essence if you're going solo, and take out the Shades of Garin each time before you fight Garin. So we're just going to go through the motions here. Okay, so that was a full rotation. I've upgraded my microphone here, so the sound quality might be a little bit better. And basically, we're just going to keep going through. We're going to kill a shade, or kill the shades. We're going to escape into the normal realm. We're going to go back in, get the other essence. Now, if you kill one of the scions but don't pick up its essence, it'll spawn in again, which means that when it's time for damage, you can kill it and then start dealing damage to Galron, which will extend your timer. So I'm going to take advantage of that little bug or quirk in the encounter design. Okay, so now it's time to damage Galron, and basically, when you're using the Lament, there's a combo you actually want to use. So I'm going to start off with my Thunder Crash just to get in close. And then with the Lament, you want to rev it up, and then you actually want to do 2 light attacks and then 1 heavy attack. 2 light attacks and then 1 heavy attack. And then you're going to hit him a few more times, 2 or 3 more swings. This is going to be the highest DPS combo. As you can see here, it's really chunking him down. Unfortunately, I do get pushed back here, but I'm going to proc my cannon braces there. Now, I'm leaving a lot of the enemies around him alive, and that's specifically because with the Arc subclass, there's a fragment you can use that gives you extra damage resistance when you're surrounded by enemies, and so that means that they all deal less damage to me. So effectively, it's better than killing them outright, because they also don't do a lot of damage to me anyway. So I've got max resilience here. Plus, I believe at this point in the dungeon, I have a modification on my chest piece to reduce melee damage, so then they're not going to be doing too much damage to me. But that's a really solid 1 phase right there, or a first damage phase. That's going to end up being 3 phases in total. And yeah, remember with Lament, you're going to be using your revved up light, heavy, and then a few more swings, and then rev up light, heavy. That's the best combo you can do with Lament. And then obviously with swords, you want to use the Keening Loosened Blade mod on your armor. That's a mod that deals with Charged with Light. So what I do is I get Charged with Light by picking up Arc Elemental Wells. I have charged up on my armor so I can get, supercharged on my armor so I can get 4 stacks of Charged with Light. And then I make those Arc Elemental Wells with my Arc Melee, which is my Thunderclap. And hence the point contact cannon brace usage in this dungeon. So, alright guys, we're just going to rinse and repeat until Galrin's dead. So moving forward from this point, I'm only going to be showing my time in the Nightmare Realm, because the overworld's pretty standard. We're going to go back, we're going to farm some enemies for some ammo, some super, or some Charge with Light, you know, whatever. And then we're going to be going on the sides doing Galrin. So I'm just going to skip the overworld stuff and then only be showing you time in the Nightmare Realm. I'm going to do the same thing when it comes to Keitel. I'll show you a few rotations of the normal way to play, and then I'll just cut out the chaff and the extra overworld stuff where you're just killing ads and getting ammo and building your super back up and things like that. And same with the vaults. For the vaults, I'm going to break it down so that the video is not incredibly long and incredibly boring as well. Okay, so this is the vault encounter, and my loadout doesn't really change. I took off my glaive and I put on the forbearance. My forbearance in particular is crafted with enhanced unrelenting and enhanced chain reaction. A lot of people do ambitious assassin, and it makes sense, but I like to get a lot of healing from this part of the dungeon. You can see here, every time I kill a few enemies, my health just skyrockets back up. So it really helps with all the ads in here, because this encounter in particular has the most aggressive ads in my opinion out of the dungeon. So that's why I'm using Unrelenting instead of Ambitious Assassin. And then, like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to be showing you kind of the first boss all the way through, and then once we kill that first boss, I'm just going to be skipping these overworld parts and just showing you the Nightmare Realm and the boss kills. Now, what's important to note here is that on my legs, I have solar leg armor, and I have the mod that gives me health when I pick up an orb of light, as you see just there. So it's very, very important to use your super often. And you'll see I use my super to take out Bell Keepers or to clear some ads, basically just to make sure that I can pick up orbs when I see them, so that I'm always topping up my health. So something I haven't mentioned yet is that I am running a fragment on my arc subclass where if I'm amplified, my arc special weapon kills create blinding explosions, and I'm using that specifically for this encounter and for Keitel, because you can see here those ads are really easy to manage because a lot of the times they're blinded because of the arc explosions happening. So very handy feature and really useful on any arc specials like shotguns or these wave-mounted or wave-frame grenade launchers. And there's the vault encounter down, so last is Keitel. Okay, so for Keitel, I've swapped to the Mita's Reckoning from the King's Fall raid. I start with the Scout Rifle, but I end up going with the Auto Rifle just because these Season of the Haunted weapons, when you're close to Keitel or when you're surrounded and you get a kill with them, they're going to heal you, almost a full as well. So very handy if you don't have any kind of self-healing. And I do have the healing ability with my punches, but if you're damaged in between that health regeneration, it just stops regenerating completely. So it's not as strong as solar healing. So just having that extra layer of healing really helps. And then basically for the most part, just like with the earlier parts of the dungeon, I'm going to skip the overworld stuff once we've done a full rotation. And you're going to see me take out Keitel and earn my solo dungeon clear. Now stick around to the end for a bonus clip. You'll see why it's not a solo flawless dungeon clear, but just a solo dungeon clear. And I couldn't help but laugh when it happened. So when you're fighting Kaido and you're going solo, you want to immediately take out these two Bellkeepers, and then you want to see which way she's going and head to those Bellkeepers next. Take them out as well, and then you can start dealing damage to her. So I always recommend either using your sword or your special or even your super on those first two Bellkeepers, just to make sure they die as quickly as possible. And then just like I said before, you want to do your revved light one, and then heavy, and then hit it with a few more swings so it can get your energy back, and then continue hitting it with the light one, heavy. And that, my friends, is a solo clear of the Duality dungeon using the point contact cannon brace. Stick around, you'll see my full build where I go over my armor and weapons, as well as my subclass. But yeah, a lot of fun. I'm glad I could do it with an exotic that's generally underused. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to use any other exotics. I'm thinking of doing one with either the Doomfang Pauldrons or something more, unique like the solar chest piece. I can't remember the name of it. Oh man, it's the solar chest piece that makes your stuff regenerate faster, and then even faster when you have the your super built up. But if you remember what that chest piece is called, let me know in the comments so I can not look like an idiot here. But thanks for sticking around, guys. Bonus clip coming up pretty soon. You're gonna see why this was not a flawless dungeon. Here's that bonus clip.